You don't think, or you didn't think, I was going to cover this case, do everything that I've done, and then just desert you at a crucial time. No chance. Anyway, just say hi to everybody, all my viewers. Hi, Wendi. Some things never change, do they? Do you know what? I absolutely feel hysterical. And I know last week, we've all known that this case was coming up, but I noticed, like, reading the comments last week and like watching, obviously I've been watching Mentor Lawyer, been watching Judy, AA Legal Focus, Fancy Fiction, and I can tell in the comments we were all getting like a bit excited, a bit too excited sometimes at times. But we've waited so long for this, haven't we? So, and listen, we shouldn't lose that. We shouldn't lose that at all, because everybody's worked hard to keep this case going and out there, you know, in mainstream media everywhere, so that this day would come, and now we're here. And yeah, it's okay. It's okay if we go off the rails about it. That's fine. So listen, what am I going to talk about tonight? I'm going to talk about all sorts. As I'm sitting here now, because I'm on a different time span to a lot of you from the States. A lot aren't, but a lot are. This case is from the States. And at the moment, I'm looking at a screen with all the colours on. When I'm not looking at the carpet, I'm looking at that. There is a little bit that's been happening on day 2. I don't actually think anything's going to happen till day 4. I think it's going to be Thursday. Don't think it's going to be tomorrow. Rashbaum will get his way, because he's like a whining child. We've seen that at the pre-trial with Charlie. Might show you something to do with that anyway in a bit, but yeah, anyway, let's crack on. I'm going to give you a 10-second explanation as to where I've been, because it's dead boring really. My patrons know, because I tell them everything. No, I'm going to get 10 seconds. I work in the financial sector, which has hit the deck in the UK. So I'd already gone part-time, so that meant the work that I was doing, non-existent. So I had to go and get another job and do a bit of training. Anyway, quick disclaimer, because I'm going to say quite a bit, like I always do. So, my name's Dawn, you found Lounge Bar Crime. Everything you hear in this video is from my own research. It's my opinion. Get that right tonight. It's definitely my opinion. And it's for entertainment purposes only. That out of the way, let's get started. Do you know what I keep thinking? I keep thinking that once this trial starts, I hope Georgia Kappelman or Sarah Duggan, whoever, pull up Magbanua almost straight away. If not straight away, very, very early in the trial, because I just want that seed planted in the jury's head of everything that they're going to ask her. So I'm hoping that one of the things that comes up when that Kappelman asks her, how did you know on the day of the murder that it had been done? And I hope that that's one of the first questions that she asks her. And that seed will go straight. I mean, it's very hard to get a seed out of somebody's head once you've planted that seed. So I'm hoping that that is planted very early on. I also hope, now, it's debatable this, because we keep hearing that it was something to do with Magbanua's family that paid for her attorneys. But if it wasn't, I mean, that is what's been said. But if that wasn't the case, I hope that comes up as well. I hope it comes up if it wasn't one of her family. If it was anything to do with the Adelsons, I hope that comes up very, very quick in this trial as well. I can't wait for this trial to start. Oh, do you know, all I keep thinking about is Ruth and Phil and Shelley. I just keep thinking, oh, you know, we are behind you. I know, you know, with this trial and everything, especially to do with like Wendi and Donna, we have took the pee and made light, and Judy said herself, it's to keep momentum, it's to keep people interested, and you kind of have to do that, because otherwise you would go out your mind. And that's what I mean. That's what I can't imagine what Ruth is going through. What a strong woman. Do you know, every time I talk about Ruth, I always get like a bit of a lump in my throat, you know. I think it's because I'm a mother like her, and my son's older as well. Not a lot younger than Dan was, my son, now. When Dan lost his life, when Dan was murdered. But I always get, so I have to sort of like, I try to keep that at bay, that side of it, and try to do the things that I can perhaps make some kind of effect with. So yeah, the Magbanua on the stand. I want Georgia or Duggan, whichever way you pronounce it, to bring them things up. How did you know on that morning when Garcia called you and said it's been done, and you said, I know. How did you know? And I just wanted to say, because Wendi told me. They're all watching these videos now, you know. Everything that we're doing, they're like that, writing everything down. The Reds is like that, and I'm glad they're like that, because that's what Dan's family's been like for 9 years. Yeah. So, right, let's just have a quick chat about Charlie. Tell me what you think he looks like. I think he looks great, ashen, which he has done anyway, but now he looks... he's put the weight on, all the carbs and all that. But yeah, I read a comment where somebody said, "Oh, I bet he's eating really well while he's at the coach, you know, on these long breaks where they go into this side room where there's whatever, you know, probably food and all this lot." And I thought, yeah, I bet Rashbaum has got him some lobsters, or I bet Donna has said, get him some lobsters, he'll love that. I don't know, but you can just see it, can't you? You know, like, oh yeah, your mum told me to get you these and that, all the time while I'm rinsing you dry. Because we've just got a few more lawyers here that you all need to pay for. Incidentally, you know, I wished that they'd done an investigation now into all their tax evasion. Now, I'm presuming, right, that there's tax evasion because there's so much cash around and everything. So there's a load of cash. Why do you need a load of cash? And they're all got different safes with thousands of dollars in. People don't do that these days. Not people with money anyway. They put it in the bank. So now, if they'd frozen all their assets, they wouldn't be able to afford these attorneys, would they? So, I mean, you can't get attorneys on loan. I don't think you can, but unless it's a bit obvious that, you know, they're not involved in everything. But yeah, if they'd have frozen all their assets and said, like, yeah, there's something going on here with the tax and everything, we're freezing all the property, we're holding everything, then how would they pay all these attorneys? Then things might have looked a bit different then. But this is a justice system, isn't it? It's all ass upwards. You could say, though, you could argue the point that if they did that, they would have said, oh, well, they were forced. You know, they couldn't afford really good lawyers or anything like that. So, they couldn't really afford to defend themselves properly. Whereas, like now, they can't argue that point because they've got millions, haven't they, to defend themselves. I think Wendi as well. So I do wonder who's paying her lawyers. I don't even think it's a mum and dad. Do you know that? I don't even think it's a mum and dad. Anyway, right. So on my screen, as I'm looking again, it's still all the coloured stripes because they're still out, and Rashbaum and his buddy are going to be in that room, and they're going to keep him there for days. I think that's Rashbaum's strategy all along anyway, because lawyers do this, you know, attorneys do this. They in cases like this, they do drag things out. I know you've heard me talk about things being diluted and losing momentum and things like that, but they do. And attorneys, this is like a strategy that a lot of attorneys do. They just carry it on and carry it on and drag it out until it's lost everything, and they hope either it disintegrates or the sentencing is like minimal, or by then evidence isn't of the same standard. They do all this. So now Charlie has got a big gang of them around him on his side, which it was kept pretty hush hush. And you know, I know I've gone on about Georgia Cappleman. I would, because I just wanted this picked up a lot sooner, and I still think it's gone on too long. But I'm not going to go down that avenue because I know I've laboured that. So, and I've always been in a corner. I've never not been in a corner, but I just felt that it just went on far too long. But anyway, here we are now, and I've got to say, I'm quite proud of Georgia Cappleman and Sarah Dugan. I'm quite proud of them. I believe Sarah Dugan's brother is with her as well. Yeah, I need more on that. Maybe James will give us a bit more on that. But I'm quite proud of them. Them two girls, the girls to me. them two ladies stood there, and they're going to fight that good fight. And another thing that I've seen at the pre-trial as well, I kind of noticed that. I did notice this at Magbanua's trial a little bit as well, that Georgia Cappleman's quite tactical. She does play her cards close to her chest, and she doesn't always like show them completely, which is fine because they don't show nothing. But to go da-da, you know, and out of the cake come these other attorneys. Georgia Cappleman and Sarah Dugan, they don't look fazed by it at all. I'd be going, that's not fair. I've said before, this is why I'm sat here and they're sat there. I'd be going mad. But anyway, this other attorney that they've got is called Josh Dubin, right? And he's the president of a New York-based research and consulting firm that specialise in jury selection and trial strategies. So, I don't really like that very much. I don't think it's going to help as much as maybe we're a bit worried about. Well, we're bound to be concerned, aren't we? But I don't think it's going to have that much of an effect. I think he thinks he is. I think he's sat there. Have you noticed? He's in Rashbaum's chair now. Rashbaum's at the end. Gated, you know, like, go on, get to the end. There, I'm running this show now. Just on about Rashbaum. Still, some of you know that I did a video when Rashbaum first came on the scene, and I said he's a charmer. You know, he's going to charm his way through, and I felt that he was going to try and charm the jury as well. I think he realises that. Obviously, he realises now that that charm's not going to work. But I did say at that time, I also said that I didn't feel that Georgia Cappleman had anything to worry about with him, and I think I was right on that as well, because I think he realises he's got something to worry about with Georgia Cappleman and Sarah Dugan. But I also said in that video, getting back to Rashbaum, that that the charm wasn't going to last at all with Rashbaum. I just knew that it wasn't. Now, at the pre-trial, did you see this? Where he had to sign some stipulations, and you know, the judges said get Charlie to sign them and blah 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 and all this lot. Watch this.
In addition, Judge, we have a motion in limine that's stipulated. The parties have agreed in reference to the issue we addressed at our last hearing with the testimony of Harvey and Donna Adelson. May I present, Your Honor, with that?
You may.
Have you had any? Yeah. Okay.
Right, did you see his face then? I'm just going to freeze it. Just watch his face here. This is Mr. Charming, this, that has been, you know, charming everybody and, you know, smiling and all the rest of it. He doesn't know whether he's coming or going, and he's losing it. And Judge Kappelman just stands there waiting for these stipulations, you know, like, right, thank you, you know, takes them and walks back and everything. That's Rashbaum. At the moment, he's like a scared cat. He's trying to contain it, but he's not containing it very well. And I knew he was like that. I knew it. And I knew when I did that video that this is what was going to come out in him, because I knew that he was no match for Georgia Kappelman. And so he was going to start flapping, and that's what he's doing. These last 2 days now, since this Josh Dubin has come on the scene, he looks like he's calm. Well, he's been relegated to the end of the table now, hasn't he, with his other colleague is there. But yeah, this is all going on because he's not confident. Either that, or he's been in the wings all along. Now he does seem to know quite a lot about the case, and I know a couple of other YouTubers have said that he, you know, is well versed in this case. So it might just be that he was this was all ready to roll some time ago. I don't know, but yeah, seen another side there to Rashbaum. Just because like we're on top of this trial now, just want to bring up just like a couple of things as well, just to do with the trial while we're waiting for him to pick. Oh, wouldn't you want to be in one of those jury seats now? I'd literally pay for a flight to go and sit in one of them. Obviously, that's just a dream. Right. So we know that the two hitmen, Rivera and Garcia, they're in Tallahassee now. And do you know what I kept thinking? I kept thinking, yeah. Now, I've no doubt, and I wonder whether this will be brought up. I've no doubt that when them two get on the stand, their stories are going to conflict a little bit. But I don't know. For whatever reason, perhaps Garcia will be trying to defend himself a little bit and it won't go in sync with Rivera, where I believe Rivera has tried to get a message to him a year or two back, saying, just plea deal, just spill. Anyway, but isn't it a shame that those two can't get in a room together and do a bit of tete-a-tete? Like the Adelsons have all been together for the last 9 years, and all their attorneys, and Rashbaum being Donna's attorney, and you know, like the whole lot of them have been able to plan and plan and plan, and I'm just hoping that that's highlighted enough, or that the jurors recognise that, well, yeah, I mean, they're getting a few things wrong, and you know, they've sort of, you know, they've not even been separated from each other. They've had 9 years to plan this. So, you know, anyway, that thought just went through my head. The other thing that was going, just let me talk about this as well. You know, Donna's attorney, her name has escaped me now, at the pre-trial, did you hear her? She was pushing and pushing and pushing. This is when like Donna and Harvey were going to be witnesses, and she wanted to do anything trying to get a stay. Now, apparently that's another ploy that attorneys do a lot, similar to what I've just been talking about, really, dragging it out so that, I mean, I know I said it dilutes and it disintegrates and things like that. That's what a stay is. That's what they do. But she was trying to get a stay. Can I just say, and I'm not really bothered what anybody thinks about this, to be fair. I've had a couple of comments say about why are you saying things like this about Wendi? Right from this case starting, I know we've all gone on about Donna, and yeah, Donna's right in there. We know that. But I've always said right from the very, very, very start that this was Wendi's doing. I know, actually, don't know if it was last week, James said something. He gave a few scenarios. What if it wasn't Donna? What if it was Wendi? I've always, right from the start of this, said it was Wendi. And it didn't start just before. It started with the book. She's a seed planter. She does subliminals. She's a victim. Like she did with Jane, going for the walk a few days before the hit, and then in the room. Who could have done this, Jane? Go on, Jane. You're on. It's time to say. Oh, Jeffrey Licaz is very jealous, isn't he? This has been Wendi. Yeah, just on that note, I don't want anyone to put anything in my comments with regards what you're saying that about Wendi for. She's a nice person, because one, you're either friends with her, related to her, you think she's something special, and two, you don't know the case. It's obvious you don't know this case at all. So can I just say, if you put rubbish like that in the comments, what you're doing. I've worked on this case like a lot of other people have for a long time, some a lot longer than others, but either way, a lot of us have worked on this case. Don't make fleeting stupid statements like that, like Wendi's a really nice person. Stop being stupid. Have you watched her for just 5 minutes? Because if you haven't, don't put it in the comments, because if you do, I'll just remove it, or I'll get somebody to remove it. I haven't got a moderator. I'll be moderator. I'll move it. If you want to stand her corner, open your own channel and do all that rubbish in there. Okay, don't do it in my comments, because I'll just get rid of it. I'm not interested in all that kind of rubbish. We're too far down the line now for all that. On that note, though, I know a few people have said it's possible, not that she's innocent, because they know she's not, but it's possible that she may not get convicted. I can't even register that. I don't even want to think about that. I mean, somebody has actually said, well, a couple of people have actually said it's a possibility that Charlie could walk. Seriously, I can't even contemplate any of that. That's not where my head is, and I can't even put my head there. We're just going to stay on this path. They're going down. Just going back to the defence again. I'm not going to say it's Rashbaum, because this is the defence, but I noticed that when they were talking about having rooms at the courts for certain witnesses and things like that, Rashbaum didn't request a room for Donna and Harvey. So it was always on the cards that they weren't going to go. This is Charlie's mother. She's not going anywhere near the court. Of course, there's going to be mayhem, because you could just imagine if they was turning up, how many people would be outside the court, sort of like shouting things. I should imagine, or maybe they would, they'd put all that to bed before it even got started. I don't know, but I just can't comprehend this this woman at all. You know, like, she's looking at her son there, she can see that he looks like a bad gift and all the rest of it, but no, you're not having me. Do you know what, on another note as well, I was watching The Bump again, you know, the other night, and I thought, right, so say you was innocent, and like, say that happened to me and I was innocent. If somebody come up to me saying you need to look after somebody, I think I would run screaming. And this person brought up, you know, like, she's quite calm. She's but she's not right in the head, is she? Because she just knows how to hold it together. Where she can't hold it together and where Wendi can't hold it together, I don't know about Donna, but I'm presuming this is where Wendi gets it from. The minute they're challenged, then Wendi starts with that face, you know, that face that she does to Krista Coast. She starts with that, and I think that she's got that from her mother. But seriously, if somebody come up to me in the street and said, you know, that job that was taken care of, and I didn't know what they were talking about, I'd have been, what? I don't know what you're talking about. I would have been frightened. She didn't look frightened. She stood there, she was looking at him right in the face. I'd have been backing off me and then legging it up the street. I would have been frightened to death, and there was none of that. It was as though she was letting him talk and talk and talk, because she's calculated getting as much information as she could from him. Now, this with the way I understand it, with Harvey and Donna not coming, not being questioned by the FBI, and not being pushed to be questioned, I think that from what I can gather is that if Georgia Kappelman did push that, anything that was used in that interview with Donna and Harvey would then not be able to be used if they were going to go to trial with them. So in other words, it would mean that Georgia Kappelman could be sabotaging her own case against him. And because I know a lot of people say, why aren't they demanded? Why? And I think that's the case. So again, that's what I was saying before. Georgia Kappelman's quite tactical. I like that about her. I like that. I've got a lot of faith in Georgia. I just think sometimes she's just a bit laid back, but I've done all that. Shut up, Dawn. Shut up. Right. Yeah. So that is how I see it. So she's very, very tactical like that, which is definitely what you need. I mean, look at Rashbaum's not. Oh, you know, here's somebody jumps out of a cake, you know, on the day of the day one of the trial for jury selection. Ta-da! Meet my new friend. Anyway, yeah, I don't think you're going to be as fast as Georgia, but we'll see. If you're enjoying this video so far, you know what I'm going to say. Just hit that like button. And if you've not subscribed, I don't know why you haven't. Oh, on that note as well, you know, I'm trying to push my own here, but on that note, James, Mentor Liar, is well on his way to 100,000 subscribers. So, yeah, subscribe to me and subscribe to him as well. That's another thing as well. Just going back to Katherine Magbanua a minute. I'm just hoping that something ties in with her calls with Wendi, and also if she can remember or anything to do with what they talked about that day on the beach, because I've got another idea with what happened with Wendi. You know, I'm wondering whether Charlie was like kind of like the middleman between Katherine and Wendi, whether he said, listen, I can get somebody to sort it for you, we'll meet at the beach, you have your conversation, you know, we'll pay towards it, me, mum and dad will pay towards it, but yeah, and see how she thinks about it, and he put them both together. then. And that's when the discussion was. I know there was a friend of Magbanua's there, but so what? Doesn't mean that they didn't have a conversation. You know, can you sort this for me? Whatever. Yeah, definitely. Because don't forget, Wendi as well outright lied with regards to the 1 million for Dan. Because she did say that part of the... When they were talking about the... before the divorce settlement, she was saying, yeah, the 1 million was going to come from the three of them. Oh, she's her mother's daughter, okay? The apple doesn't fall far from the tree. She's dropping them all in it. Yes, Mum, Dad and Charlie. When it wasn't, because it said it in the emails. It was her, Charlie and her mum and dad. I've said that before as well, a long time ago. But she outright lied. But you know, Georgia Koppelman has got to let them things, she had to let them things ride, because obviously these are the things that are going to come up in trial. Another thing, I'm just going through things here to do with the case while we're waiting for him to pick this jurors. And just catching up really. Just saying hiya again, you know, and getting, settling back in. But, you know, I did mention about that list, which I mentioned this about a year ago, about the list with the bullet bourbon on. And I know other people have mentioned it now as well. And I did say then, I wonder where that list is, and I wonder if it's on there. Now, we've got no doubt at all that Wendi's friends would have destroyed that list, okay? But there wasn't just Wendi going to that Stop the Bar party. There was a few people, and I'm just hoping that out of them few people that was invited to that Stop the Bar party, that there's one decent one. If this is the case, I might be wrong, but that there's one decent one that says it didn't have bullet bourbon on it. It did have bourbon on it, but it didn't say bullet bourbon. It just said bourbon. And I'm just wondering whether, you know, that any decent person amongst the lot of them would come forward and say, yeah, that was a lie. There wasn't bullet bourbon on the list. There was just bourbon. So we'll see with that one anyway. Can't see. I can't see that happening, because her friends seem to have stuck by her. Well, a few of them. I do believe some of them have sort of like drifted, but a lot of them have stuck by her. So again, I said ages ago about June, absolutely ka-ching mad, like Harvey, ka-ching, ka-ching. Yeah, right at the start, she was like, yeah, well, I only talked about the money being stapled because I was mad at Charlie. Well, that doesn't stop the money being stapled, does it? Oh, she really pisses me off. Have you seen her Instagram? It's all Louis Vuitton bags in one restaurant or the next. She's just money mad. You know, you could kind of feel sorry for her, stupid idiot. You know, like that she thought she was going somewhere with Charlie. You know, that was never going to happen. Because of the type of person that Charlie was. But and I did say, like, oh, I'm bothered about her because her statements was getting more diluted and more, oh, I can't remember, I don't know, and all the rest of it. Well, we don't need you, June, anyway, because Charlie's own friend, is he called Ryan Fitzpatrick? He remembers the money being stapled, and he's a witness. So there you go. So yeah, because she worried me here, because I kind of felt that the main witnesses to do with Charlie was Jeffrey Lickas, obviously, and June Umchinda. And June Umchinda was becoming more of a waste of time every time they spoke to her. So, I mean, they did put her on the spot, but it was like, yeah, maybe if you can refresh my memory, oh, if that's what it says. And she was very vague, and it was just all the time. So, but actually, you're not needed. So, seems to be doing well on Instagram anyway, so yeah, she got something out of it. Like, half standing by him, you know. Ugh. Honestly, she's made of the same stuff, almost, that Katherine Magbanua was made of. I'm not saying, co-conspirator to a murder, but there's something definitely not ticking right, because the only thing that she seemed upset about all this was she thought she was going to have a nice life with Charlie. And even when everything was doubtful to do with him, she was still half standing by him. She still had one leg in. So I tell you, I'm going to go back to Rashbaum again. Like, he's adamant. I think he's going to... like when they said, do you think the jury selection would be ready for Wednesday? It was like, no, he had to push it to Thursday. Then there was the to do with Donna and Harvey. George Kappelman's not even gonna call them. Ask her now. I wish the judge actually would have said to him, don't tell me what to do, or something. But he's like, he don't care. He's jumping in, and they're not even his clients, and he's jumping in defending him. And do you know what I thought the other day? I thought, honestly, I wouldn't put it past him if he got COVID or something, fractured his other ankle or his arm or something, anything to delay this case. Honestly, because I think this is his thing. Obviously, he's had to go to the extremes of getting this Josh Dubin in, but I do also think that he would do anything that he could to delay this case, because I think that's his aim, that's his game. Now, they do say as well that the most incriminating evidence against Charlie, is the wiretaps in the restaurant with Katherine Magbanua. Now, like I said, they're going to have a job with her anyway. The defence are going to go heavy at her when she starts saying that this is what was said and that is what was said, and she starts clarifying things and admitting that what they thought they heard on the wiretaps was correct. The defence, they're going to go bang at her. Personally, I think she can take it. Yeah, not really a lot has gone on today, other than a lot to do with the jurors and everything. I've not really gone through that, because there's a lot of people doing that about the jurors and about the questions that are being asked and things like that. The only thing that I found amused me this morning was Rashbaum sat there, and do you know what? In front of all of them, if you look at that table, there wasn't a laptop open on their table, and like Sarah Dugan's like constantly like that. Rashbaum goes over and he's and all this, like, she gives him time of day because she's polite, but I thought, but you're doing your charm bit, because you're going to be crying like a baby in a week. You're going to be crying like a baby, and I can't wait. And with regards to Charlie, I think Charlie will go on the stand. I hope I've got that right. I hope somewhere along the line we haven't heard that he's not going on the stand, because I feel like he's going to have to, and I think he'll be a bit like, rolling the eyes, well, obviously, because all this rubbish works for him. Like with Wendi, Mummy's told him to do all this, they're acting, and she's instilled so much rubbish into them that they absolutely believe it. And another thing as well, I've always said about Harvey as well, Harvey's no saint, and that he didn't get where he got by giving Lexus vehicles away and things like that. And then you must have heard recently that apparently he broke somebody's mandible, and he still carried on practicing after that, and never did the x-rays and things like that. That's because x-rays cost money. See what I mean? This is what Harvey's all about. Don't forget, this is a guy as well who wanted attorneys and was supposed to be paying so much, and then wouldn't pay the money, even though they'd been working on the case for a month. he wanted money back. I think he wanted money back, or he wasn't going to pay the other 10k, something like that anyway. And then those solicitors had to take it further. That's Harvey. That's Harvey, this little man that doesn't say anything. Nobody hears all this much about him, but he's conniving, he's devious, and he's ka-ching man, and he's money mad. Like Donna's money mad, like Wendy's money mad, and Charlie's money mad. They're all money mad, and that's why they've all got probably millions, but definitely hundreds of thousands, I would say, stashed away in the houses. Well, they haven't now, because they've probably hid it all somewhere, but yeah, that's how they run their life. I just can't wait for this to hurry up. Just get Charlie down and go and get Donna, and bring Harvey along as well. I'd like him to go straight for Wendi. Do you know, it has been said as well whether Charlie will drop Wendi to protect his mum. Can honestly say on that one, I don't know, because they were saying that Charlie and his mum, at times they heard it on phone taps and that didn't speak very highly of Wendi, but yet they treat her with kid gloves, you know. So I don't know. Anyway, that's all I've got to say. I'm glad to be back, and yeah, it's glad to be back. Can't you tell I'm out of practice? I'm glad I'm back, and it's nice to be chatting with you all again. Just put your thoughts down about anything that you think, or if you've got a different slant on it. I just want to hear it. I want to hear it all, but I don't want to hear, I think Wendy's innocent. I don't think she's got anything to do with it. Don't waste my time. Go and open a channel and go and do all that there. And I can't wait for these opening statements. You just know that Georgia Kappelman and Sarah Duggan, it's going to be mustard, whereas Rashbaum is just going to be clinging at straws for us all to swallow it. It's going to be a load of rubbish, but it'll be entertaining. If nothing else, it'll be entertaining. So I'm going to try and get back in a couple of days and update you. So anyway, in between and I'm going to sign off, and I'm going to say take care, stay safe, and I'll see you soon. Bye.